CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Karen Greer. Grab your cup of coffee because the doctors are in. We're talking women's health this morning, beginning with ER doctor and mom, Dr. Daria Gillespie. Thank you so much again for joining us.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
And you know a lot about this subject, including the 5 top killers of women. So let's start with that.
Yes.
What are we seeing as the big problem?
We are, and you know, this is kind of a grim topic. So we want to talk about it, but we're talking heart disease, we're talking cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, stroke, and Alzheimer's. But what I always want to tell people is looking at those causes is looking too far down the road. It's like saying I-85 collapsed because concrete got hot. Well, no, that happened at the end, but what happened was the fire. So what are the causes that lead to these? And what we're finding is there are 3 things in our lifestyle that account for 80% of premature death.
Okay.
Smoking, nutrition, and physical activity. And if you change one of those things, you cut your risk by 50%.
This is 2018. Are there still a lot of smokers out there?
Yes, there still are. I see them as my patients as well. Yes, the rate of smoking has declined, but there are still many, many people. It's such a tough addiction to break.
Yeah, and you brought up an important point. No matter what gender you are, what you eat has a lot to do with your health. So what are you recommending? What should women do?
Well, they say when it comes to food, DNA isn't our destiny, dinner is. Because if that food that we're eating, it's not just calories, it's information that we're giving our body. And it actually impacts our metabolism, our cravings, and how hungry we feel afterwards, and how much energy we have.
All right, well, you're talking about eating too many of the wrong foods that are laden with fat. But what about if you're doing a keto diet that is full of fat? Is that a problem?
So there are a lot of diets out there. There's keto, there's paleo, there's all these that said supposed to eat like our ancestors did, right? So, well, there's one misconception there, is that the food that our ancestors ate were not these cows from the Midwestern America. They did not have that. So you really aren't eating like your ancestors ate. So what I tell people, there was a recent study, and they were trying to see is low carb better or low fat, and our genes, which impacts that. And so they didn't tell people to cut calories. They just said eat this, low carb or low fat, just eat whole foods. And everybody lost weight.
Wow.
It didn't matter what they were doing. Similarly, they took kids and they said, let's just cut added sugar. But they wanted it to be real world. So they fed them pizza and hot dogs and frozen foods. They just cut the added sugar, and the kids kept losing weight. It's the added sugar for them that was really causing the problem.
Okay, what about for the children? You mentioned some things, and for parents even, they'll say, you know what, I've done everything. I've tried every diet. I just can't lose weight. And if you look at my family, everyone in my family is overweight as well.
Yes, so I have patients that come in and they say, my mom was obese, my mom had diabetes, I'm going to have it too. So studies show that is not the case. In fact, the biggest influence are your friends and your family and your lifestyle right now. So if your best friend gains weight, you have a 170% chance of becoming obese yourself. If your sibling gains weight, you only have a 40%. So it's the company you keep and what you're doing right now that trumps any genes that you may have come with.
Okay, well, we need to know what we need to do this weekend to get jump-started to get these bodies lean and mean for the summer.
All right, so, I mean, raise your hand if you hate dieting. I mean, everybody does. And because one thing, your body is not made to do it. You start dieting, you cut calories, your body freaks out. It says we're starving. People who diet have higher food obsessions, they have higher cortisol levels, their metabolisms drop. So dieting is bad. So everybody who's trying to diet right now, throw that out the window. That is not the way to do it. So that doesn't mean you can't lose weight. It just means that the old paradigm of just exercise more and eat better doesn't work in today's world.
All right, so Dr. Daria, we can't all look like you. What do we need to do?
Well, everybody can look whatever their best body is. And it's not about the pounds on the scale, no matter what.
There you go.
We all have different body types, but it's how we feel. So that's what I started to look at with my mom hacks. What are the easy ways you can do small efforts and really get big gains? So little things, cutting hidden sugars, really a big deal to break that sugar dependency that we all have. Finding little habits. I mean, I just tell people, give me 5 minutes of walking a day. When you get up, walk 5 minutes. That's it. I don't want you to walk anymore. I just want you to create that habit. Or like we talked about earlier, get that bright light the minute you get up, or just get outside 20 minutes a day. All of those things sound little, but they'll make really drastic changes in your health and how you feel.
And it's helping us to teach our children how to keep their health at the
Yes.
top too, because a lot of women just don't pay attention. They help everybody else, right? Well, we're going to take a break. We are just getting started with Dr. Daria. We're going to talk about sun protection and some other big topics when Public Affairs on Peach returns. Thank you.
Of course.
Awesome.